supportive and positive learning experience. Positive learning experience where each member of this club will help you and encourage to develop your communications and leadership skills. To help us deliver this good experience, we have some ground rules for this meeting. I would first request everyone to take a minute and try to switch all your electronic devices into a silent mode, which will help you to focus on this meeting throughout the session. Also, please ensure we are not addressing anything in a demeanor way for religion, sex, and politics. Finally, I would also ask you to be very kind audience, which you would always like to be when you are on the stage. Thank you. These are three simple rules that we follow. And it is time for me to hand over it to our presiding officer of the meeting, TM Ravindra.
Good evening, good morning, dear Toastmasters and guests. I am Ravindra, presiding officer for the day, and I welcome you all for another wonderful meeting on behalf of Toastmasters for Entrepreneurs and Professionals Club. Before we start, I would like to acknowledge our guests, and may I request our guests to come forward and introduce themselves. Yes, Toastmasters.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, Toastmaster Ravindra. Hello, dear friends, dear Toastmasters. My name is Mahesh Shastri. I work in JP Morgan Chase. I am part of the JP Morgan Chase Hyderabad Toastmasters Club. And I joined Toastmasters with the intention to continue self-development because I was scared of speaking in front of people who I don't know. Hence, I thought this would be a good opportunity. And I've already renewed my membership because I still want to continue doing that. Human being by nature is selfish, but Toastmasters is such a platform where the scenario is always a win-win scenario. You get feedback from a third set or sets of eyes, which we have to accept whether we like it or not, and in a positive way, because that is the actual picture that you appear in front of others, which I strongly feel. And hence, I am here. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mahesh. We welcome you to join our clubs regularly. And may I request Pragna, our area director, to come forward, introduce herself. Okay. Is she available? All right. At the interest of time, may I request? I'm going by chronological order. Ankit Joshi.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Ravindra. Hi, everyone. So I'm part of Dilsuknagar Toastmasters group. It's been a few months I've joined Toastmasters, and this is my second time I'm joining this club's meeting. And I'm basically a data engineer at Reliance Jio. So yeah, it's always fun joining the meeting. Thanks, Ravindra. Thanks for the
Thank you
opportunity.
so much, Ankit, for joining our club today. And may I request Vinay Kumar to introduce himself? Vinay, if you are speaking, we could not hear you.
This is having issues with his audio.
Looks like, yes. And may I request Arvind to introduce himself?
Hello, I'm audible.
Yes.
Yeah, so my name is Arvind. This is the first time I've joined Toastmasters, and I think it's something weird as I was just randomly searching about Toastmasters 10 minutes back, and I ended up joining this Zoom meeting. So uh, I work at ICICI Bank, so there's no Toastmaster club over there. So I'm looking forward to joining in these clubs. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arvind. I'm sure you will learn a lot, definitely. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, sure.
And
Thank you.
moving by order, my request Shahid Sheikh to introduce himself.
Yeah, hi. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Shahid. So I am a Toastmaster from Satvik Club, which is a sister club, and I am a IT professional. So as this current club is related to professionals, I'm no more a guest. I'm also a professional.
Bro.
So yeah, previously also I joined this club, and I like all the sessions which were taken by this club. So that made me to join again. So thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Yes, your face is always familiar to our club. We never feel you are a guest, but as a formality, we always ask you to introduce yourself. Thank you so much for joining again.
Yeah,
Request
thanks,
Bhargavi to
Ravindra.
introduce herself. Hi, Bhargavi, are you there? And she's the first person who joined our call today.
Hi,
Please go ahead.
so sorry, I was talking on mute as usual. Okay. Hello everyone. This is Bhargavi from Elan Toastmasters Club. Elan meeting happens every second and fourth Saturday, 3 to 5 p.m. at Kondapur Botanical Garden. And now this meeting happens just half an hour after my home club meeting. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to make to this club most often, but today I had an opportunity to attend. So looking forward to have this wonderful session ahead.
Thank you so much, Bhargavi, for joining our club, in spite of your busy schedules and all. You know what? Elan Toastmasters was one of my home clubs. So the moment I see you, I remember all my old days. Thank you so much for joining the club meetings. And did I miss anyone? I think Lokesh, can you please introduce yourself? Lokesh, if you are speaking, you're on mute, I guess. Okay, I think he's speaking.
Ravindra, maybe Vinay has fixed his audio things. He can speak, I think.
Oh, hi, Vinay. Can you come? I think you're back. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Vinay. I am actually part of Miapur Toastmaster Club. I became Toastmaster in the month of March. So almost like few months. I am enjoying this journey. There are a lot of things I'm learning. And one of the thing what I found is it's a kind of, for me, it's a kind of community where you are not only a part of one community. So once you are into one club or any group, then you get an access to this entire universe of the people who are into this community. So that is a beautiful thing what I have experienced. So one of the thing again is a lot of learning also I'm doing it. I'm getting it. Not only you are getting the access to the team, access to a lot of people whom you interact with. And thanks for the opportunity once again for giving me. I'm also actually become the president of Miapur Club. So there's a thing which I'm enjoying right now. Well, thanks again. Thanks for that. And I'm looking forward to be part of this group. I'm actually trying to join, but I'm very irregular. I'm not getting time, but I'll try to join this. I know this is happening every Saturday, I think every Saturday 5:30. I'll try to make it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Vinay. It's wonderful introduction. Thanks for joining. Did I miss anyone? If I miss, I'm so sorry. You can come forward and introduce yourself.
Are Toastmasters also introducing?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. This is Toastmaster Pragya. I am a member of Hyderabad Toastmasters Club in Hyderabad. I am currently also serving as the area director for Area G1. And I was invited on a quick shot, and I am always ready for evaluation. So I thought, why miss a chance? I would say. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much, Pratna, for joining our club meeting and supporting us by taking a role. Thank you so much. Your smile gives us more energy today. You should accept that fact. All right. If I am not miss anyone, okay, let me give a pause. If I miss anyone, please come forward. All right. I take this as I did not miss anyone. Thank you so much. Well, forgiveness is divine act, but it is not always easy. Today morning, my wife gave me a tea without sugar. I thought of forgive her, I could not do it. So forgiveness in general is very easy, but at times we cannot control, right? So we have our Toastmaster Sarika come up with a wonderful theme and to entertain us and to organize our meeting today. May I introduce Toastmaster Sarika with warm welcome, with warm claps?
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes. And all yours, Sarika.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ravindra. When I was in class 8th, I happened to go on the stage. There was an elocution competition and I forgot the lines. I stood on the stage for almost 1.5 minutes. I couldn't recall any of the sentence. Anxiety, stage fear, call it what you may, but I couldn't utter a single sentence. That episode haunted me for the next 5 to 6 years. Probably people who were present in the room that day forgot about it. They might have credited that to an anxiety issue, to someone who is going on the stage for the very first time, or someone who doesn't like speaking at all. But that episode remained in me, in my personality, till today. To err is always, always, always human. But to forgive, I want to discuss about forgiving today. Before I even start about how we make mistakes, I want to bring to your attention that to forgive, to err is human, to forgive is divine, was penned by the first Roman philosopher Seneca. And in his language, in from the place he came, it's called errare humanum est. Only he said to err is human. Alexander Pope, one of the very, very famous poets, added to forgive is divine. Probably Pope wanted to soften the blow, saying it's always easy to make mistakes. As humans, we have all made mistakes. When I was talking about my first stage experience, I'm sure each one of you have had an experience where you probably couldn't do what you were supposed to do. And I can write it on a bond paper and sign it and give it to you, saying none of us have forgotten that episode. Even today, in the dark of the nights, when you're all by yourself, you're probably recounting your failures. That stands up as the top 5 mistakes or top 5 regrets of my life. Before I delve into how forgiving happens, I want to go ahead and introduce my tag team. My timer of the day, Toastmaster Shashi, can I please have you on the virtual stage?
Thank you, Ms. Sarika. That was a great introduction. Hi, so good evening, guests and Toastmasters. Today I will be your timers and I will be evaluating table topics, speakers and formal speeches, and also for the evaluators. I will be giving away green, yellow and red cards for respective time limitations that we are supposed to maintain. If it is green, that means your speech has been qualified for the minimal time limit. And if it is yellow, you have a minute left in your formal speeches. And if it is table topics, you have 30 seconds left. And if I'm showing a red card, that means you're almost up to the time and you might have 30 more seconds to summarize your session or the meeting. That's from my end. At the end of the meeting, I would summarize the report for the time today. Thank you, Ms. Sarika.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shashi. May I please call on the virtual stage our counter, Toastmaster Shazia.
Shazia joined, but I think she has dropped.
Yeah, I actually saw Shazia. Okay.
We'll come back. I guess she'll join.
Yes, we do not have a grammarian today, so I will leave that slot the way it is. All right. So, the second thing that I was not able to forgive myself for was after marriage when I first cooked bhindi. Lady's finger, as all of us know, is very sticky in nature. And when you don't cook it properly or use your grandma's tips, it tends to become sticky and people really don't like it. Most of us like eating crispy bhindi. I forgot to add a few drops of lemon while preparing lady's finger, and that day I felt really bad. I know probably my mother-in-law, her mother-in-law, my mother would have made the same mistake a million times. And I started wondering, how do we forgive ourselves? It is important because at the end of the day, we are all trying to forgive each other. When people ate dinner that day, no one said anything for two reasons. Probably because I'm a new member of the family, and also daughter-in-law, first time she cooked, probably she forgot something. That day I realized how many times have I made mistakes since that first time I appeared on the stage till the time I made the lady's finger. And to tell you, I remembered all the mistakes I made in my life. The process of forgiving is not easy. The process of actually letting go is not easy. More so ever now in this world where every video is captured, forgiving is not happening. In the morning, I actually came across an incident where the teacher asked a student to slap another student. Forget about what trauma the student went through, but that video is there for the rest of the boy's life. Even if he wants to forgive himself for allowing that to happen, I am sure for the next 90 years, the internet will not allow him to forgive. World was easier without phone and net. How do we forgive ourselves? Anyone here, just a quick question, anyone here who have forgiven themselves, maybe, on just a random kindness deed, forgive themselves for the mistakes they have made in the last 30, 40 years of their existence? Like the average age of this group is probably 30, 25 to 30. Have you forgiven yourself?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, you did. Oh my God. I'll connect with you offline, Vinay. I want to know, how do you forgive yourself?
I did many mistakes. Sometimes I don't forget. I have to. It is difficult, but when I gradually know that, yeah, some of the things is not in my control, I have to forgive and move on.
Yeah.
It's the two things.
When
One
Vinay
is
tells
forgive.
like this, when Vinay tells like this, it sounds so easy. It's like just one statement. Forgive yourself for all the mistakes you have made. But you know how much embarrassment have you gone through after you made the mistake, and probably the mistake is there to haunt you for the rest of your lives.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter. Yes, Vinay.
What I'm saying is initially it is very tough, but when you grow old, gradually when you mature, right, then you will start realizing what exactly. It takes time for you to forgive yourself. It's a difficult, but it takes time.
We are all connecting with Vinay offline to understand how to forgive ourselves, because I am not the kind of a person who forgive myself easily, and it is very it's a very difficult thing for me, because here in my head the thoughts run 1,000 words per second, and I'm sure most of us have that. Before I go to the next part of my topic, I would want to start or initiate the prepared speeches, because we have 3 speakers and I want them to have ample time. Before I start with the first speaker, please allow me to call on the stage, virtual stage, the first evaluator, Toastmaster Pravalika, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Reela. Toastmaster Pravalika, can I have you?
Good evening,
Is she
everyone.
here?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
So, good evening, everyone. I am Toastmaster Pravalika, and today I'll be evaluating Toastmaster Reela's speech. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice the skills needed to connect with an unfamiliar audience. Timer, please note the timing for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster Reela. Over to you.
Reela, can I have your speech title, because it isn't there in the agenda?
The title is Dreamers.
3?
Dreamers. 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 Dreamers.
Okay,
As in
okay.
dream.
Yeah, okay. Toastmaster Reela, Dreamers, Toastmaster Reela. Over to you.
Am I audible and visible? Yeah. Look who we are the dreamers. We make it happen, cause we believe it. Look who we are the dreamers. We make it happen, cause we can see it. Greeting fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Toastmaster Reela Lumbini. And I would like to ask you guys a question, which I would like to answer later. But yeah, how many of you dream, and what are those dreams about? Would anyone like to answer this question? Okay, then let me answer this question. We all are dreamers at some point, as far as I know. And there are types of dreams. Like dreams can be our ambitions, dreams can be our nightmares, and dreams can be our daydreams, and so on. And do you guys know that dreams and our subconscious brain are connected? Like dreams and mental health are also interconnected. You know, dreams help brain to process and understand emotions. And sometimes they help to work through problems and also store some emotional memories. You know, when I was a teenager, whenever I told my mom I had a nightmare, she used to cross out that by saying, I told you not to watch too many horror movies. But the matter of the fact was I was watching cartoons. Yeah. I agree that the movies we watch can affect our dreams to some extent, but to what extent? Maybe a day or a 2. But if the frequency of nightmare increases, maybe it's our subconscious brain that is trying to communicate the issues back from there. So I suggest let's try and listen to it. Throughout our busy careers, we might have heard words such as nightmares, stress, anxiety, depression, and some similar words. These problems are mostly ignored. Nightmares are often detailed and easy to remember after waking up. So the memory and the feeling of the nightmare, they may be carried over to person's waking life. And nightmares can be more common in depression due to how this mental condition affects a person's sleep. And anxiety is also associated with nightmares and negative dreams. Anxiety is a total normal experience, like that increases focus and helps our body to respond to stressful situations. But when this anxiety is out of proportion, It interferes with other parts of person's life and causes nightmares. Sometimes they are also called as dream anxiety attacks. You might have heard this word, anxiety attacks. Yeah, the anxiety attacks, they can vary. They can be involved from incomplete tasks and embarrassment, anything falling from stairs, getting into legal or financial troubles, something like that. Whereas stress dreams are very distressing. Something like frustrating, sometimes some embarrassing scenarios. Being chased by someone, falling, driving a car that is too fast or out of control, teeth falling out, missing an important appointment or examination. So far, these are the examples I gave. Like, these are very common. Like, we can see from our life. But there are also some severe dreams which are more bizarre. Like, in which the person seems to victimize themselves. And such condition is called schizophrenia. Yeah, I know it is very difficult to pronounce. Even for me, it is difficult to pronounce. It is schizophrenia. I'm just breaking it for you. People who are experiencing this, they may struggle from distinguishing between reality and dreams, which means we shouldn't ignore our dreams. Dreams can help us understand ourselves. Physical diseases can be diagnosed through tests, but mental issues can be identified the person who is facing them. As many other mental issues are mostly ignored. When we see these signals around the dreams, that means it is time we work on ourselves. Giving ourselves some time, some space. Do you guys remember there is a saying called health is wealth? Yeah, and we try our best to stay healthy. All I wanna say is, trying to be fit physically, we should not ignore our mental health. In my opinion, mental issues should never be neglected. People in the area which I come from, people tend to feel mental health is a taboo. Like, it is only for mad people. It is not for us. It is only for people who are not who are abnormal. But from my point of view, they are all similar to the physical ones. It's just that they're a bit hard to diagnose and cure. In some situations, our dreams help us to communicate with our brain. And when it does, let's not ignore it and have a chat with ourselves. You might be wondering why I'm telling all these symptoms and issues. It's just that I hope my speech would be a little help to people who are struggling, and a sign that we should give ourselves time to be ourselves. Let's keep dreaming, but instead of nightmares, let's try dreaming about our ambitions and aspirations. And let's all be helping. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Sarika.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rina Lumbini. Can I have the second evaluator, evaluate Toastmaster Ravindra to evaluate Polisa Janvi. Evaluator 2, Toastmaster Ravindra Verma, over to you. You're on mute, Ravindra.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Toastmaster Jahnavi is attempting her L1P2 project as part of Visionary Communication. Her speech title is The Dance of Nonverbal Communication. The objective is to apply the feedback from her previous page and deliver on any topic. This speech can be same as the previous one. All the best, Jahnavi. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Toastmaster Janvi, the dance of nonverbal communication. The dance of nonverbal communication, Toastmaster Janvi. Over to you.
Yes. Am I audible and visible?
Yes.
Yes. The most important thing in communication is hearing what isn't said. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Jahnavi, and I dance on my speeches according to all my previous evaluators. Well, I used to do it just to dissipate all my nervous energy. But later on, I understood it has a greater importance. When I read an article called The Dance of Nonverbal Communication. Well, basically, the article told me the importance of what nonverbal communication is and how to incorporate it into our speeches or into Toastmaster meetings in general. Well, I'm someone who don't know how to remember a lot of things. I usually forget a lot of things. So I created an acronym to remember the contents of this article. That is PET, PET, where P stands for posture and gesture. Posture is generally the way we stand, the way we sit, or the way we carry ourselves. And it, well, if you're standing upright and if you're in a good posture, it shows the confidence. Where if you're slouching, it shows disinterest and boredom. If your posture is not good, it may have a bad effect on your speech. The next letter is E for expressions, your facial expressions. Well, do you all remember the way the room lit up when our editor Pragya smiled? Yes, that is what facial expressions are for. To lighten the room, to express your emotions and your reactions. Where brightly smiling is a very friendly and approachable one, while showing or pointing a finger can be it can be a little offensive. Then comes to the T, that is tone. Well, I wondered, why is tone considered as a non-verbal communication? Well, then they told me that it explains the attitude behind the words. Whether you're happy, whether you're sad, are you being sarcastic? It explains that. If you're having a very friendly, smooth, and calming voice, then it's for goodwill. And if you're using a high-pitched, and then it's for criticism or for distress. So have a calm voice. Now that we have understood all the basic non-verbal communication types, I have a few methods to improve our non-verbal communication. I have 5 ways. The first one is standing in different positions while giving a speech. For example, if you're giving your icebreaker or a speech that includes a timeline, you can stand at the corner of the stage and begin with your introduction or about your childhood. Then go to the middle to explain body or about your college days. And then move to the other end to explain about the conclusion or about the current stage of your life. It will make the audience understand it very clearly which part, where you're standing when which part is said. It gives them a sense of clarity. The second step is moving forward and moving backward while giving polar opposite views or stating the ups and downs of your life in general. For instances, while you're giving your positives, you can go up the stage, and if you're giving a little negatives, then you have to go back to the stage. For example, by narrating story, I can say, I'm a very innocent girl with a very welcoming views, but then a friend betrayed me, which was very sad, which expresses the contents of the gestures. And then the third one is converting all your action words into just gestures. That is, for example, if you have something like eating, show the eating gesture. If you have something like running, do it. And as I did in the beginning of my speech, hearing, you can use it as well. Then comes the fourth one, that is using the mirroring technique. While you're listening to your audience, you have to look at them carefully and mirror their emotions. If they're smiling at you, smile back at them. If they're showing a concerned face, empathize with them through your facial expressions. That way, you can connect with your audience. The fourth one is using your tone in various different ways to generate humor. You can use your voice in different ways to generate humor so that you can use it in your humorous speech contest for upcoming days. I hope all of you listened very carefully to all the tips because I have a small test for all of you. Are you ready for the test? Yes. Showing the thumbs up was a gesture for approval signal. Well, for this, I'll give a statement and you have to react with the gestures which are in the Zoom reactions. For example, what is the gesture you will give to ask a query? That is raising your hand. So you can click on the raise your hand button. Yeah. The next one is if your friend just passed a driving test and you have to approve them, what is the gesture? Yes, it's the applaud one. And also for approving it, you can also give a thumbs up. Well, you are in a college or your kid is asking a question. What do you think is the reaction they would give before asking a question? That is to raise your hand. If you're greeted in the morning or any time of the day, what is your reaction? It's a bright smile. In conclusion, gestures are a powerful tool, and we have to use them carefully to express ourselves. Thank you for listening, also listening to my gestures. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much, Janvi. May I now call upon our third evaluator, Toastmaster Pragya Jain, to evaluate Toastmaster Mahesh. Pragya, Toastmaster Pragya, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Sarika. The speaker today is delivering his project from level 5 of the dynamic leadership pathway. The speech is for the person to share some details on reflecting on his path during the completion of this entire path. Another purpose of the speech is for the person to share how this person has grown during the completion of the path. Timer, please note that the timing for the speech would be 5 to 7 minutes. Looking forward to a speech and your learnings, Toastmaster Mahesh. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Toastmaster Mahesh, I am perfect. Really? I am perfect. Really? Toastmaster Mahesh, over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Sarika and Toastmaster Pragya, all the fellow Toastmasters and my dear friends, guests. Toastmasters? What is it? Trust me, believe in me, it happened with me. I was in a firm. I was having chai outside, tea, with one of my friends who happens to be part of the Miapur Community Club. So maybe Vinay could correlate. I thought the t-shirt looked different. It's not like Adidas or Puma. It was having Toastmasters written on it. I just asked my friend, hey Trinath, what is this Toastmasters t-shirt? He said, yeah, I am a Toastmaster, Mahesh, sir. Okay, so what do? You just go in to any wedding and all and raise a toast? Here's a toast? Is that what a Toastmasters is? He was taken aback. He said, no, Mahesh ji, sir, it is not that they show in movies. Toastmasters is like public speaking platform where you can improvise. I said, okay, fine. I am perfect. I don't need that. When I moved to another company, JP Morgan Chase, I got an email. My company was sponsoring 1-year membership. I was very glad. Okay, I am perfect. Nothing to lose. It's company's money. I'll become a member. I became a member. Within 2 days, it was my icebreaker speech. A lot of people joined. and your external speakers as well. I gave my icebreaker speech. I was told I can say anything about myself. I gave it. And I got really good feedback. I was like thinking loud. That's it. Man, I am great. There is no negative feedback. Even the grammarian said your favorite word is you know. I was like, as I am repeating, same thing. Like. That was another favorite word. I told Trinath, hey, I got really good feedback, my friend. I got like is my favorite word and you know is my favorite word. He corrected me. Maheshji, you are new in this. Try to make the best utilization of it. Don't let your mind play tricks on you. Favorite words means you are biased to those words. You need to get out of that habit. If you are in a team meeting and you're just picking on one name, then team will feel that you are biased. Likewise, there should be nothing favorite in words. The entire dictionary should be your favorite. I said, okay, right. So what? Another speech. I thought I was already a Toastmaster. Then I realized after becoming a member, there are different paths, 5 different levels, and each level is having 3 to 4 speeches. Am I supposed to do that? I'm perfect. No. Then came a time when I gave one of the project speeches, and the evaluator said, Mahesh, you were going blank, like I did right now. You should not. That is what I feel, is what I heard. It is not the way we speak in the office in front of the team. We as a team did it or that. As the evaluator, that person was telling from her or his perspective. Point taken. I'll have to improvise. The other feedback that I got in another project was, Mahesh, why were your hands tied up when you were speaking? You should not. Let your hands free. Then you will be able to use your body language. Your body will speak for itself. Understood. And then I had to play an evaluator role as a part of one of my projects. That is when I realized playing evaluator is not at all easy. Whatever feedback I was getting, I had unconsciously started spotting those habits in others. And I gave my feedback. That was of level 1 and level 2. And as and when I progressed through each and every level, I got to know that there are certain aspects, for example, the speech content, that should be very much crisp and clear. If you are presenting something, it should be less words, more of speaking. And if it is something significant, as an example, I am a martial artist. I had got around 4 international, 4 national, and 3 state level medals. In one of the presentations about speaking on the topic that I'm an expert, I had just kept my medals and my photo with the medals in a small box in the deck. I got a feedback. The way you present is very important, equally important as you speak. You should have put an entire slide that, because it is very significant. You don't need to decide what is significant. You need to connect with the audience and think what might be significant for them. That was the other part. I always used to stammer when I used to speak with my management or my team. And I always used to say, like, after getting the feedback and when I started observing other speakers and the evaluators as well, unconsciously or semi-consciously, I started following that, which really helped me a lot. The main points that are a takeaway for me from the Toastmasters journey of just one pathways, not 2 or 3. A person who was thinking, hey, here's your toast. The thought being transformed into, this is a platform where I can fail freely in front of people I don't even know. I'm building new connections. I'm building new friends who are all well-wishers for each other. First lesson, respect each and everyone and their time, including yours. People are on this call investing their time for your betterment. So you need to respect that. You need to be on time. And I've started following that in my office as well. If a person doesn't join in 2 minutes, I'll disconnect the call. That's it. Respect. Second, respect the feedback that you receive. All the evaluators in the level in all the 5 levels that I received, they had invested so much of time. Even the grammarian, word must and grammarian, the timer, the R counter, that really helped me improve myself. I feel if I'm using a word multiple times, I feel I have to correct myself unconsciously. So respect the feedback. There is nothing personal between you or any person who's giving you the feedback. Be objective. And the third point I got is there's nothing called as failure. We are human beings. That was the main thing. And this platform specially helped me achieve all that. Hence, for that reason, I have renewed my membership as well to take on the next path. I have not yet decided, but I will decide after consulting with my mentor, Toastmaster Trinath Chintapalli, who had asked the question, is this what you do? So life is a continuous lesson. We can use life as a platform. If that is not sufficient for people like me, who needs a bit of more push, Toastmasters is a platform. Thank you very much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Sarika.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mahesh. I am glad I was born in 80s and not in 2010, where every stupid act of my childhood would have been recorded by my parents to actually put it on display when I turn 18 or 21 and show it to the entire world. I'm actually very glad that my mom and dad forgets that we are 5 of us. So she goofs up, she mixes up who did what. Forgiving is a very, very personal journey. People who have forgiven themselves here on this platform would agree with me. Imagine if I would have been there at 18 years cutting my birthday cake with a snotty nose up on the video on the screen for the entire world to see, with my small little shots running around on cycle, shouting at my father, dropping a glass of milk. I would have been traumatized for the remaining part of my life. How did I forgive myself for most of the incidents in my life? I'm just going to share 3 things. I know you're all humans. I know each one of us, you're born with an ability to make a mistake. All of us have immense capacity to make mistakes. There is absolutely no one in this room, including Mahesh, who can say, I am perfect. So when this happens, the first thing I remember when I make a mistake is to know that I do not have enough experience for that particular thing I have been doing. The first time I went on the stage, I have to forgive myself as a small little girl whose parents were not really in the spotlight, whose parents did not encourage, people, their kids to go for extracurricular activities, talk about stage fear. They were very busy preparing food. My mom prepared food for a family of 25, and my dad ensured that we are well fed and our fee is paid on time. So the first thing I did was to make myself aware that that domain is not my area of expertise. So as a girl who was in 8th class with absolutely zero exposure, just a dream, like how our first speaker said, a dream to be on the stage and speak and have the spotlight on us, I wanted to forgive myself for not having the expertise in that area. The second and the third, I would discuss after our amazing table topic master comes here on the stage and brings to us amazing topics to put you on your feet and to help you think. Toastmaster Manasa, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sarika. May I have the first speaker? Who is ready to take up? Okay, yeah, Mahesh. Toastmaster Mahesh, share a time when you forgave someone for a mistake. Share a time when you forgave someone for a mistake. Toastmaster Mahesh.
Share a time when I have forgiven someone for a mistake. Thank you, Toastmaster Mansa. My wife had started cooking only rice items that are like pulihora or jeera rice or chitra anna because it's easier for my daughter, she is 14 years young in 9th grade, to carry to school and have at lunch. Whereas I, being me, selfish myself, I wanted a lots of vegetables. I told her, hey, please add some vegetables. She replied back, what about your daughter? She doesn't want that. I said, okay, fine. I took a step back. Later on, she continued that since I cannot have anything without vegetables, I started getting partial food back home and wasting it. She started asking, are you okay? Is your health okay? But my wife's intention was not why I am wasting it. She knew in the back of her mind that I'm not happy with the cooking. I need more vegetables in my diet. I never used to tell. It was long back. Now it's BAU because if I complain, I won't get food to take to office. Home minister, have to. Because she is a homemaker by choice. That is the one thing that I remember where she also immediately started realizing and she started giving me more vegetables as such. That is one thing I remember on top of my head, actually. Otherwise, there are many instances where I have not forgiven anyone as a human being, as an idiot human being, I would say, myself being myself. But when it comes to home minister, better be smart. Thank you very much. Over to you, Toastmaster Mansa.
Yeah, thank you. Now the volunteer for the second speaker. Yeah, Ashok. So, okay. Ashok, share an experience where you had to forgive yourself for a mistake. Share an experience where you had to forgive yourself for a mistake. Toastmaster Ashok.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, for this opportunity. Actually, I was applying for the state government exams before I entering into the corporate world. So I gave an government interview for the assistant engineer post. So I thought that I gave the best of myself and I did best in that interview. I might get selected in that. So when I came out of the interview panel, the results were immediately posted out, and I was just curious to know that my name was there in the list. But there was no name in the list. I was not only disappointed, but I felt very bad on that moment, and it was very, very bad for that moment because I was aspiring to be a government servant. It was one of my dream, but I got into hooked that for almost several days. But I started thinking that I might have many opportunities. Don't know. I just don't want to hook on to this incident, and I don't want to stuck on this place. So I started working on myself, and I forgave myself that incident, and I could travel to different countries after forgiving myself, and I still can have a lot many opportunities just sticking on to one post yeah, this is the one thing I would appreciate. Thank you.
Thank you. Guest Javed.
Yeah. One sec.
Yeah, guest Javed, share your thoughts on how parents, educators, or mentors can teach the value of forgiveness to the young generations. Share your thoughts on how parents, educators, or mentors can teach the value of forgiveness to the younger generations. Guest Javed.
How mentors, educators, or parents should teach the kids value of forgiveness. Yeah, tough, tough ask to do, especially when you see the tutors hitting their kids. Understanding forgiveness, understanding when to forgive is something which is important, and I believe the kids that are the subject for this tabletop, they have better forgiveness than the tutors, parents, and everybody. And let me tell you a small story of my nephew. So Izan is going to school these days, and one day when he came, he was asking my working laptop, and he wants to work on this. While my meetings were going on, I kept on telling, brother, I have a meeting and I can't give you this laptop. He kept on insisting, and I had to throw him for an important meeting from my room out. So when I was throwing out, he was like, I'm not coming back to this room again. Like, okay, for me, that meeting was important. And when meeting got over, I was like, I should not have done that. This kid is so amazing. 10 minutes down the line, this guy is again here. He forgot what happened. He literally came and stood again. Chachu, आप laptop देंगे क्या? In English means, Chachu, uncle, can you give me the laptop again? I was like, yeah, take it now. That kid has done masters in forgiving, right? They forget things very easily than us. We are the people, we have to teach ourselves to learn how to forgive from them. So in fact, they are the teacher, and we should learn how to forgive people, how to not take things with you, do not get attached to things, to topics, to talks which are disheartening you, and let it flow, like Izan took that bad moment which I felt bad little later, but for me, I was in that motion, right? You are in a meeting, you want to do something, and like, hey, what is this? You go out of my room. But imagine if I had not reacted that way and just said something nice, gave a chocolate and moved him out of room, that would have been nicer, right? So that's my take, that let us learn from them. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next guest, Vinay Kumar.
Yeah.
Vinay Kumar.
Yes, I'm ready.
Discuss a situation where someone forgave you, and what lesson did you take away from that experience? Discuss a situation where someone forgave you, and what lesson did you take away from the experience?
Okay. Thank you, Mansa, Toastmaster Mansa, for giving me this opportunity. There are few instances which I can recall people forgive me, and there are many instances where I don't recall people forgive me. Maybe they would have forgiven me. Probably I was so indulged in my self-ego, I couldn't have recognized. So few instances, what I can think of is I'm married. I have a beautiful wife. I'm happy to. So there are many instances where we normally used to fight. I have a tendency, right, as a new couple, most of us will fight with each other. So there are few occasions where we fought each other. And there was a situation where we are watching a TV serial where there was a love story between the boy and the girl, and the boy went ahead insisting the girl, and she was proposing. And finally, what happened? Uh, the girl rejected him, and the episode was closed and saying that it will be in the next time. And then we started discussing on that, and that discussion became an argument, and we started fighting. I said that, okay, the girls would have accepted the boy's proposal. And she said that, no, why the girl will accept? And that is how the argument started happening, and we are shouting each other, and it went to like the intensity got increased. And at the same time, I went to the kitchen without controlling, right? I started taking some utensils and I was about to throw. Then suddenly the bell rang. And when the bell rang, she went ahead and opened the door. And then it was like our common friend. And then our anger got reduced. We stopped fighting. And for that next few minutes, we behaved as if like everything was normal. There was no fighting at all. And when that common friend left our room, our house, then the anger came back to me again. I went back to my history and started, but she was very calm. And even though I was fighting, she was very calm. And that incident, I couldn't hold control. But after a few days, when I went back and reflect that incident, then I realized what happened actually. She forgave me because I couldn't able to do that. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster Manasi.
Thank you. So as there is a lack of time, we only have one more table topics. Arvind?
Hello, I'm audible.
Yeah. Guest Arvind. Discuss situation where forgiveness was difficult to offer or accept. Discuss a situation where forgiveness was difficult to offer or accept. Guest Arvind.
So this happened during my college days. So basically, I worked as a TA, teaching assistant in my college. So while teaching assistant's job is to make sure, like under the professor, the tasks are being completed on time and taking care of the students of that particular course. There was this situation where the professor conducted an exam and I was to correct the papers. And while correcting a guy's paper, I found out that he would uh, most probably fail in that particular course because he, I think, would barely pass or fail for sure. So, if passing a test would be a sin, so then I like forgiving would be something which I tried to do, but which is not ethical from my end. So it was very tough for me to fail a person in my eyes because growing up, as a student, I knew I knew that I never failed, and I know how it will be when a person fails in his or her particular course or anything. So that was a very tough decision for me, but I had to follow my ethical way to fail him. That's it.
Thank you. That's the end of the table topic session, and back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manasa. That was a very introspective session. The remaining two things which I practice is to be kind with myself. The world needs kind people. The world needs compassionate people. Actually, the world needs someone who can sympathize with others. But at the end of the day, I also would want to sympathize with myself. I also want to be kind to myself. I know it's not easy to be kind with oneself because we are our worst judges. Probably for some people who are overthinkers in this particular forum, I know how it feels. When you have made one mistake and you think people will forget, it's not really, of an important matter. It's not going to impact the world. It's not going to impact global warming, the economy of India. But hearts of hearts, you are thinking that 24/7. So next time you make a mistake, allow yourself to be kind with yourself. The third is to be accountable. Accountable for the mistake you have made and accountable for actually taking the consequences in your stride. It's not easy. I might sit here for 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and give you an amazing lecture on forgiving oneself. But the minute you let go of the mistake you have made, the embarrassment that has caused you, the shame you think that has brought upon you, you are a free bird. In the paucity of time, I would want to have a discussion. However, because of the paucity of time, I'm going to call the evaluators to evaluate our speakers for the day. The first evaluator is evaluator Toastmaster Pravalika, who is going to evaluate Toastmaster Rila. Toastmaster evaluator 1, Pravalika, I don't see you. Pravalika, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sarika. Good evening, everyone, again, and a special good evening to Toastmaster Rila. So, I'll be evaluating the speech in the basic CRC method, which is commendations, recommendations, and conclusions. Coming to the commendations, firstly your title, which is Dreamers, and then you started it off with a song, which made me think, okay, I have never seen an introduction which has started with a song till now. So that made me have this concentration, or interact with your speech more. And then comes your informative speech. Basically, whatever the speech you have given, it is very informative about what types of dreamers are going to be there, what are their fears, how are they overcoming it, how should they overcome it, and what are the consequences. So it was a really detailed informative speech. And coming to interacting with audience, you have tried to interact with them with questions, you try to engage them with your informative speech, etc. And coming to recommendations, I have let me come to the first recommendation, is that as an audience who is unfamiliar with you, I expected you to, when you have given me the topic or the title, I expected, or I wanted to know why actually you took the title and what does it mean to you. When you started telling about all this sorts of dreamers, I was waiting, why are you telling about this? You concluded with a statement that you want to tell everyone or let them know, or give an informative speech. But when we are listening to a speech that is informative, we even have to be uh, engaged in it, and also interested in it. If you could join it along with a story, let it be yours, let it be a realistic, or let it be something that unrealistic story, the people, when they're listening to it, they'll be feeling more interactive and more engaged in the topic. And coming to your the basic purpose of the speech is to make the people or the unfamiliar audience understand what actually your speech is about. And when it comes, you are explaining everything about how a dreamer, like what sorts of dreamers will be there. But as an unfamiliar audience myself, I didn't know why did you choose the topic, or why did you want to deliver a speech without even, I wanted you to add a personal touch of yours. You started it with a family topic, like your mom assumed it to be a nightmare of yours and asked you not to watch any horror movies, etc. But if you could continue that for every single sort of dream, like anxiety dreams, and also coming to depression, etc., it would have been more interesting to the audience, is what I felt. To conclude with, your introduction was good, the title was good, it was informative speech. But coming to the recommendations, I would recommend you to add that personal touch or storytelling thing, to make the unfamiliar audience also get interacted with it and interested with it. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Next, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Ravindra Verma to evaluate our second speaker, Toastmaster, I forgot the name. I'm so sorry. I'll remember this for the rest of my life. Janvi.
Thank you,
Over to
Toastmaster
you.
of the day. The dance of non-verbal communication. Today, I realize one can dance Bharatanatyam, Kadakali, Kadak in 5 to 7 minutes. It's really wonderful speech. And especially when she was explained about criticism with a high pitch coming up before the camera, right? I realized days back when my mom used to threaten me to feed me. It's really great. Well, Jahanavi, we have started with a quote that gives the context of your speech, and you explained the source of the article, and you explained the techniques like PET, 2 methods, five ways, with examples and by showing your body language. I liked it very much. In your previous speech, you excelled at body language, and you maintained intelligent pauses, and you were able to engage audience. And you need to. I gave a feedback that you need to work on time management. The way you put the title and the speech craft, you maintained all the excel points. Like you maintained well. I mean, there are no points to explain about your body language and vocal varieties. You nailed it over there, and you narrated the story very well with a good transition, and you engaged the audience by giving them exercises and all. And the whole speech is with speech oriented, is research oriented, and you give a proofs where you got it, and you also explained how it works and all, right? It seems very scientific. And time management, this time you nailed it. You have taken 7 minutes 22 seconds. You did not waste even 10 seconds. It's really great. If you ask me some improvement areas, it is not very serious matter, but I observed high breath sometimes. Probably it's because of some tension or something. Like, it's not a big deal, but maybe when you practice over time, you will nail it, and it's really good speech. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ravindra. Now may I call upon our third evaluator, Toastmaster Pragya, to evaluate Toastmaster Mahesh. Toastmaster Pragya, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sarika. Am I really perfect? I would say no. But are you trying to be perfect? I would say yes, Toastmaster Mahesh. And that is what a commitment to complete one whole path of the Toastmaster journey shows. Going to your speech, I will let you know what I absolutely loved about your speech. You had a very clear idea where you started with your base story of how naive you were to Toastmasters. And I think many of us were. So I could instantly connect to the idea. What is Toastmasters? Do you really make toasts? Or what do you do with it? A genuine question which most of us would have asked at least in the start. So I loved that idea. The second thing which you told us was that you accepted your mistakes which you were doing and how you were accepting people who were giving you feedback, because it is really difficult as human to take criticism. So that was something which came out as a very positive note for me from your side, showing how accepting you are to suggestions. And third thing which I loved about your speech was, while wrapping up your speech, you clearly mentioned 3 key learnings which you wanted or you shared from your own journey. Now, I will let you know the feedback on the 3 learnings that you have already carried forward throughout your journey. Respect time, the first learning that you shared. Let me give you a feedback on that. When we share our journey, as we've completed one particular path, it becomes our responsibility to let people know what each stage of this path has taught you. Because I totally believe you would have learned few filler words which you were using, few communication gestures which were not going right, but at the same point of time, a Toastmaster teaches you much beyond. It teaches you your leadership style. It teaches you how to apply that leadership style. What were the learnings from it? Did you do a project which made you network better with people? And what were the learnings from it? That is what I was waiting to listen in this time that I was giving to you as a listener. Second thing which you said was respect feedback. So if you would have shared some peculiar examples where a particular feedback Actually, you went and applied it into not only Toastmasters, but the learning of how feedback helps you. If you would have applied it into your real life, how did that make you work? And last but not the least, as you said, nothing is a failure. We are all humans. I am sure that you would have failed at various stages of learnings during this whole path. If you would have shared it, maybe as a fresher, somebody will not be scared to make those mistakes, rather would know that we accept every mistake with open hands and are ready to hold hand and bring you out of that mistake. And last but not the least, nothing in Toastmasters is a mistake, it's a learning. So I would say just 3 things would have taken your speech to the next level. Time, telling us your timeline and what you learned, feedback of what you applied outside, and how your failures made you succeed. Looking forward to more such speeches from you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Pragya. I would want to wrap up this session with just one thing. Forgiveness doesn't happen as the theme of my, as the title of my theme is today. I have made a few mistakes, which I'm going to think about it later at night. You have made a few mistakes, which you're going to think about it later at night. But in this entire journey, we are here for each other. We know that we are struggling, we are making progress, and we know we are trying to become better than what we were yesterday. Thank you so much. And now I give it to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Ravindra.
Thank you so much, Sarika.
I'm so sorry. Yes, timer, yes. I'm so sorry. Timer, Shashi.
Yes.
Yes,
Thank you,
you're
Sarika. I think I will forgive you for that. It's okay. Okay, I'm learning to forgive now. Okay. I think today timings, I would say most of them are within time. I would read out in the order that we have started. First speaker, Rela, has taken 5 minutes, 56 seconds. Janavi has utilized 7 minutes, 22 seconds. However, Mahesh has crossed slightly by 9 seconds, which is 7 minutes and 39 seconds. We have our table topics. First speaker, Mahesh, has utilized 1 minute 54 seconds. Ashok is at 2 minutes 15 seconds. Javed is also at 2 minutes 15 seconds. Vinay, we have you at 2 minutes 25 seconds. And Aravind, it was a really good start. Aravind, you have 1 minute and 36 seconds. And for our evaluators, we have evaluator 1, Pravalika, who has utilized 3 minutes 20 seconds, Ravi 2 minutes 22 seconds, and evaluated 3, Pragnya 3 minutes 20 seconds. That's my timer report. Thank you for the opportunity, Sarika.
And thank you for forgiving me, Shashi. Next, I would like to hand over the virtual stage to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Ravindra.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. I'm sure Toastmaster of the Day, Sarika, did not forget probably to check our tolerance of our forgiveness. All right, it's time to take feedback. Then we'll also invite for nominations. So let's start with asking feedback. So, dear guests, also area director, please come forward and give your feedback about the session.
I think Pragya, Pragya is here.
Right.
I thought she was.
Should I call by names if they are resident?
All right, I'll start with the feedback.
Yes, Ankit, please.
Hi everyone again. First of all, I really like the theme. It was really very good. And the way meeting went was really nice. Table topics were really good. Overall, I really liked And I would like to come again and join.
Thank you so much. We expect you to join our meetings regularly. And Aravind? Do we have Aravind?
Yes, we have Arvind, but he's on mute.
Okay, no problem. Bhargavi? Toastmaster Bhargavi? Any Toastmaster Vinay?
Hello? Hello?
Yes, Arvind, please.
Yeah. Actually, my audio was not working. So
No problem.
I had this was my literally first Toastmaster meeting or anything which we call. So I had I got to know how the process works. I'm kind of interested to join next upcoming sessions. So this is basically to improve my public speaking skills, which I feel I have behind. So
Sure. Yeah,
thanks
great
for the
initiative.
warm welcome and everyone were welcoming.
Great. Great initiative, Arvind. You may reach out to Sarika. Sarika, probably you can assist Arvind. And
Yeah, sure.
so, thank you.
Thank you guys.
All right. I was calling Vinay, I think. Vinay?
Yeah. Thank you, Ravi. Yeah, I think it was good, very nice. I'm seeing a lot of happy faces, and it gives me, I'm like in a place where a lot of people have similarity with me, and I feel like very comfort whenever I join Toastmaster Club. It is very rare to have a group of people who have similar kind of vibes and similar kind of feeling that you have. So it's nice to have a Toastmaster. Like I feel a lot of comfort whenever I join in my club, in online, everywhere I meet. It went very well, very smooth. And Sarika, you have done very good job. It was like very smoothly. I think 1.5 hours is 30 minutes. I feel very less time because everything goes very fast. We have only two speakers. And what happens if you include another speaker? And there are like other things we normally see in the other club, like listener, there are other roles and all. I know 1.5 hours is very less time. You cannot accommodate everything. But that is one suggestion. I have seen like many clubs, they have like 1 hour, 30 minutes only. They don't go beyond 1 hour, 30 minutes. I don't know what is the reason. But that is one suggestion. If you can extend that maybe a little bit more, and you can include more participation, more rules, that will make me take it to the next level. That is one suggestion I have.
Saturday is the reason we have Saturday.
Yes, and thank you so much for your suggestion, Vinay. Reason being, we have members from across globe, right? After considering all the feedback, so we fixed it to 1.5 hours. But thank you so much. We will definitely consider that suggestions.
Not only this club, right? Many other club online, they do like 1 hour, 30 minutes. I don't know the reason. Is it a mandate? Or I'm not able to get that. Okay, you may have the valid reason. May not be other clubs, they may have the same reason. They might have a different reason. But there is some similarity, like 1 hour, 30 minutes, like very constant. Most of the online clubs. Don't know why.
Yes, we will definitely reconsider. Thanks for your suggestion. And anyone else?
Yeah, Ravindra.
Hi.
Yeah, it's a very good session. We can say like we are having nearly 3 speeches. It's like a speakathon. Instead of speakathon, we can say like as per today's topic, it's a forgiveness-thon. Actually, this is a very much needed quality in our day-to-day life.
Yes.
We need to forgive us, and others should forgive us, and we have to learn, and we have to, as in our Toastmasters, there is a saying, become a better version of ourselves. So by forgiving others and based on the situation, we can make ourselves a better version of ourselves. And all the from the Toastmaster of the day and all the activities went very smoothly, and everything was perfectly planned and executed. So thank you, and I'm also happy. But I did not participate. I thought of joining in the table topics, but there are so many hands got raised. so I did not get a chance. And all the table topics also very good. And thank you for giving this opportunity to share the things. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Sheikh. And next time, I think you'll be the first person.
Extend table topics. Correct, correct. First time, whenever the table topic session comes, I will keep my hand raising.
Yes, yes. Thanks to Mansa, she was able to engage everybody. This time. Yes.
Hey, this is Mahesh. Can I take a
Hi,
stab
Mahesh.
at
Yes,
that?
yes, please.
Sorry, first of all, thank you very much for giving me that opportunity, because now I'm not being evaluated, I assume. TM Pragya. I hope you're not evaluating me now. Yeah, why would all of you invest your time just to see or hear me speak and give me feedback? I am very glad. Thank you very much for that. I am very much humbled. Second thing, as to answer Shahid Bhai, the way it works is never miss an opportunity to speak. That's what I learned personally. Raise your hand, that is fine. The meeting can stretch on if you want to. Person who wants to speak can stop everyone else. Everyone will listen because you want to improvise. That's how this platform is built. I was a person, honestly, seriously, who asked a Toastmaster who has completed 2 pathways, do you go into weddings and raise a toast? I was that kind of dumb person. And then I realized. So, chalta hai. That is perfectly fine. And then one other thing I got to know is all of you have joined, all the evaluators. I don't know even a single person of you, but now I know I can, if I see you somewhere, maybe we can have coffee or shake hands and share some good words. It's really helpful, very much helpful. So in future as well, I will be in connect with Toastmaster Manasa. I would love to play some roles as well, maybe a sergeant at arms or a presiding officer at the most. In case you are running short on role players, I will check with Manasa if there is any slot. I want to contribute from my side as well, so that other speakers from your club also get the opportunity to speak. It should be a win-win from my perspective. I got this opportunity. I want to, I what do they call? I want to do my due service to the club.
Thank you so much for your kind-hearted and your helping-handed. We would like to see you in most, in from our, in our next calls as well.
I will be in contact with Mansa, Toastmaster Mansa.
Definitely.
Please forgive me in advance. Apologies if I pester you a lot.
No, nothing. Thank you so
That's
much.
right.
You are so kind, man. And Pragnya, you have anything to share for our club? With smile,
Yeah,
please.
because I see a lot of people presenting and all. And Raghu has, I mean, we have closely worked with Raghunath, and this club has been close to his heart, I would say. One thing I believe is that one thing which I do, because I'm so sorry for her. Yeah. One thing which I did, and you guys can actually do it and might work for you, would be that at each speech that you deliver or each role that you take, I had prepared my own journal. Okay, so I used to write down one learning or one new thing which I learned from that particular meeting that day, and that way the learning or the understanding of what goes and how it goes became exponential. Right, so that is something which you guys can also apply. From every meeting you will get at least one new point. Maybe one speaker spoke something which remained with you, or one evaluator, or something an evaluator did different which probably you could apply. So that would help your learning to go multifold rather than just that one, level 2, level 3 kind of a thing.
Right.
That might help.
Thank you so much. I think this is great advice. We will definitely try to implement it.
And a second thing which you can work on is more than bettering up the speeches, better up on evaluations. Because once the evaluators are better, they know what to tell the speaker, right, what they can improve on. And once that is done, the speakers themselves start improving because they know what to apply, where to apply, and how to do it.
Agree. Yeah, probably we can plan one education session on evaluations.
Yeah, something like that. Would a deep knowledge on what exactly is to be evaluated makes a lot of difference to the speakers and adds value, because that's what is the role of an evaluator.
Exactly.
So that's the thing.
Yeah, thank you so much for your feedback. And does your daughter also give any feedback to us? Hi.
Hello.
Thank you. And Anybody else would like to give a feedback? If not, I have two updates. One, we have conducted a poll for our members about the timings, and majority of the members choose the time that we are conducting right now. I think we are going to freeze the same time. And two, I think executive committee, I think, I mean, we have decided to connect after this meeting. Please be online. And I'm handing over back to Manasa. Probably she can take up roles for next week, next meeting.
Yeah. Who all are interested for taking up the roles for the next meeting can share which role they can take.
I would love to
Yeah.
TM Mansa, maybe SA. I can play SA, and if required, I can play SA and PO combo offer. So
Yeah,
you don't mind?
Make a note, and Manasa, you can reach out to.
I will. Yeah, because as the date nears, weekend, I have to keep the home minister and kid also happy. So I will keep you posted. I'll be in connect.
Yeah.
I'm good at OKish with SA, PO, and T mode as well, or table topics master. These four. I am not good yet at grammarian, timer, or a counter.
There is no good and bad, actually. We are all learning here.
I don't want to misguide someone with my inadequate knowledge.
No,
So
we're all in the same family.
Okay. Are you willing to take up the T mod for the next meet then?
T mode I can.
Yes.
Yeah. Done.
And anyone?
I'll be the Mansa.
Hmm?
I'll be the speaker.
Yeah. Okay.
And
I'll take up the timer again.
Yeah.
Shashi timer.
Probably you can shift and take some other role for your experience, Shashi.
Okay.
Otherwise, even in dreams also, you talk about time only. You take 2 more sessions.
At least.
Probably to his family members also he's showing red card, green.
Red card.
In
If
time to
his
serve
wife
dinner.
don't bring the tea on time, then he shows red card.
Try table topic master.
Nah, this Toastmasters thing, it is turning out into occupation hazard kind of, okay? It is like when I'm telling my wife, Rashmi, okay, this is not, my daughter is coming and saying it is not Capgemini, it is Capgemini. How can you be a Toastmaster? That's what she tells me. I'm like, okay.
I get that all the time. Capgemini. Okay. So I'll pick up our counter then. Will that be okay?